Well, as we all know, 16th Street Baptist Church has played a key role in the civil rights history of our country and certainly in Birmingham, Alabama. And about 5 years ago, I was serving on the committee for the inauguration of Mayor Kincaid when he started his second four-year term. And we had a breakfast meeting in the basement of 16th Street Baptist Church to start the inauguration day, and I got there early. And it was really chilling to me to see the condition of the church. There was water standing in the basement. One of the members of the congregation took me to the back right corner of the church and showed me how the brick where the bomb had gone off in the back far right side of the church, where the brick was separated, the water was running in anytime there was a rainstorm of any kind. And so it was really upsetting, to be truthful with you, because that is a site that I knew for a fact that over 140,000 people a year who also go through the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute, most of those people come across the street to see 16th Street Baptist Church. So it was an embarrassment, and was able to get a local contractor, Felix Drennan with Bryce, and also a historic preservation architect, Dick Pigford, to come look at it pro bono, no fees. And I had worked with Carolyn McKinstry, who is a longtime member of the church. She was a little girl in the church when the bomb went off. And she also served on the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute board when I was there. And I served as chairman of that board.
He came to me, or he said at the board meeting, we were done with the meeting, and he said, "Carolyn, what about the church over there? There seem to be some problems." And you know, as I said, my first inclination was run fast, because, you know, when Neal gets a hold of you, it's work. He's a taskmaster. But he and I walked over to the church and looked around, and he asked me, was anything being done? Well, do you think we could talk about a way to raise some money or to help the church take care of these problems? And I said, sure, you know, we could talk about that. So that's when we really started having to work very, very closely together. And we've done that probably about 6 or 7 years. So much so that Neal Berte, his wife, started calling me the other woman. Whenever I was introduced in public, she would say, "This is the other woman."
So with the help of a lot of folks, we formed a steering committee. We got a case statement from the contractor of what needed to be done based on the historic preservation architect. It sort of blew my mind that the 16th Street Baptist Church was not on the historic register nationally. And so we were able to get it on the historic register. We were able to raise $3.8 million, which is what we needed to restore the church. Over $3 million of what we raised came from Birmingham. And I think that says a lot about how far this community has come, and not that we don't have a way to go. So there are a lot of good things that came out of a lot of folks working together to remember some of the most difficult parts of our history, certainly, not pleasant for any of us, but by the same token, also a living example of reconciliation and how far we've come in this community.
Today, I say that the story does have an ending, and it's a beautiful ending, one that Birmingham doesn't mind sharing. Instead of hiding the history or running from the history, Neal has shown us how to embrace the history. We've taken that approach that he's given us and just used it not only in the renovation of the 16th Street Baptist Church, but in other circles around Birmingham. He took what could have been a very ugly history and turned it into something very positive. So I see him as Birmingham's own historical revisionist. And I think because of him, when we talk about the bombing of the church now, we not only talk about the dark days or the tragedy of 1963, but we talk about how Birmingham turned itself around. And with people like Neal Berte at the helm, at the cornerstone or the anchor of the whole project, we're able to make this a city that people continue to come and see and visit, but now they come and they want to see the place, they want to touch it, but they ask the question, how did you survive this? How did you turn this situation around? And Neal Berte is one of the reasons or one of the answers that we give in terms of how we were able to turn the situation around.